What's up, folks? You know who this is? This is the big man. The big man. Coming to you from a Love's over here, over there, everywhere. Love's is everywhere. Love's is my favorite truck stop. Why do you say that? Yeah, you know what? All the truck stops, they got less potholes, they got cleaner bathrooms, they got better amenities. At least there's a crew outside cleaning and emptying garbages. Unlike the TA I went to in Cheyenne yesterday, where I went inside and asked if there was a pothole crew available. And then she said, well, why don't you do it? And I said, well, I would do it, and I would do the correct job, and like shortcut and rebar it all up, make sure, put a nice big fat, deep layer of concrete, not this much concrete. But I said, you got, TA would go bankrupt. I said, no, honestly, ma'am, you really need, it's not your fault, I don't want to snap on you, but you really need to do something about your parking lot. It's ridiculous that I've got a $200,000 truck that nearly break my front end, and I'm doing 0 miles per hour. So TAs are out for me. I just do not do TAs, Petros. Flying J's or pilots, very rarely. Maybe for pizza, I'll stop at the Flying J to grab pizza. I'm out. I'm going to Love's. I'm always going to Love's because, again, they keep their shit up. So, how you guys doing in this marketplace, huh? Doesn't it seem like it's getting worse and worse and worse? I'm wondering that it seems like it's so bad from what you see on YouTube, but yet there seems to be the same amount of trucks running down the road as it was 2-3 years ago. I don't get it. I was at Bosman's last night, and there was trucks everywhere. Literally, that place holds 400 trucks. There's like 485 spots or 65 spots. Actually have lines where you back into. And there were still trucks on the side, down the aisles. They were everywhere. I'm saying to myself, I'm like, if the market's that bad, how can there be that many trucks still running the road? Unless they're literally working for 60 cents a mile. I actually talked to a Western Express. He said he started, and this was a couple of years ago, he started at 34 cents a mile. I said, how'd you live? He goes, barely. So I'm saying to myself, if Western Express is paying rookies 34 cents a mile, how many, can you live on 60? I don't know, because I'm not a company guy. Can you live on 50 cents a mile, 45 cents a mile? Are you getting 60 cents a mile? I don't know. Somebody, who's in a company, that's OTR. I'm not worried. I'm not concerned about local. I'm worried about the trucks that's got the condos on it. Are you living really? Are you making a living at 60 cents a mile? I don't know. And if you are you getting those miles? Because if you're making 60 cents a mile and you're running 3,400 miles a week, then that's another story. But if you're making 60 cents a mile and you're running, say, 2,000, 1,500, that's not a lot of money. I don't have to do the calculations to know that that's well under $1,000. And if that's the case, are you fine with doing that when you could pretty much go to any fast food joint and make $20, start $20 an hour? I've seen a sign the other day, was it yesterday or the day before? I forget where I was. I believe it was Nebraska, Utah, $27.50 for a warehouse position to start. And that's a lot more money than making 60 cents a mile and you get to go home. So I don't know. I'm doing okay. I'm not doing great. I'm not hitting home run after home run after home run. I'm okay. I still average take home at the end of the month. I'm still a little over 6,000 take home. That's after paying my truck and all the incidentals along with it, minus not the tax, because I only pay federal tax, being that I'm a South Dakota resident. So taxes will vary from state to state. I don't pay state tax anymore for those who are not getting it. Because like I said, I don't see the volume of trucks being any less than it was 3 years ago. And no matter what truck stop I go to, I was thinking that this market was going to take out a lot of truckers, and it was going to be, no matter what time you came to a truck stop, whether it was, you know, the peak times between 7 and say midnight, 7 and 1, 6 and 1, 6 and 2, that you'd be able to find a spot anywhere, and that's not the case. It is still jammed packed. So where is the bad market then? Now I know from when I used to run, I know that I'm only averaging 2 good loads a week. Sometimes there's a third thrown in the mix, but typically it's 2. And my week's over. So it's like 2 with a 1,300 mile. That's the way it's been lately. So I'll get 2, say 600 mile run, then I'll get another one that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I'll get one like a Friday that runs it to Monday, and the Monday will turn be like Wednesday night. It can't be during, obviously I like to make it during, you know, Wednesday during the day. And so it's been kind of like that. And like I said, there's you know, I still have some really good weeks. And what I mean by that, number-wise, well over 5,000 gross. And there's weeks where I don't do 25. I'll do 2,500, 2,400 bucks. And after all said and done, there's nothing to take home. But I don't look at it week to week. You know, even though I see that week when I get the payroll run, and it's, you know, I'm not the happiest guy in the world, but I also know that I look at it on a monthly, quarterly basis. And when I do that, then that bad week, or, you know, those bad weeks within the month tend to dissipate. So it's not that bad. You know, a year ago, the wait between picking up a load, dropping it off the window was a lot shorter, and then get pre-planned. You typically, especially if there was hours left on my clock, go down 80 to 100 miles down the road, go pick up a load and run it, you know, the rest of the time out. Or it would be go take your 10 and then go pick up the load, or, you know, depending on where I was picking it up. If there was overnight parking, I would just go there, pick up the load and shut it down. And so the loads were more frequent. So that's the only variable that I see. So I mean, the on the YouTube, man, it's like Armageddon is happening. It's the world's coming to an end. People are leaving. People are freaking out. And if you are, then why are you staying in trucking? And if you are, why would you go from company A to company B? Well, they got the loads. Maybe not. Yeah, hey, listen, guys. The oldest trick in the book is when they get new employees, what do? They tantalize you. They give you tons of loads in the beginning. Then after you're there for a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and they start pulling those loads back because they got to give it to the next new batch of dudes that are coming in. So don't be fooled. The market is everywhere. It's being capped, for lack of better words. So again, my advice to anybody who's young, male or female, doesn't matter. College, it may not be the answer for you. Night school may not be the answer. But learning a skill, going to a school to learn a skill, welding, wrenching, electrician, things that our infrastructure need in order for it to run. That's what you gravitate to, because A, no matter how bad a market is, there'll always be a job. 2, you're always going to get benefits, health, dental, life, 401k, all that stuff that's important to people. And your hourly rate, you always get an increase. You never go down. You know, people are taking jobs now that, you know, I was a young boy, we're making just as much money as some of the people that are doing these jobs today. That's 35 years later. Who the hell can work for $10 an hour? I mean, $10 an hour when I was a kid, when I was going to high school, I was doing better than $10 an hour. I was going to school with $300, $400 in my pocket every week. Living large. You know what $400 got me in the late 80s? When gas was less than $1, cigarettes were 75 cents, a hamburger, French fries, and a movie, you barely spent $5 for all that stuff. So that, people are still making $10, $15 an hour, which is nothing in the times that we live in today due to inflation. Anyway, so like I said, things are a little slower, but things are not devastatingly bad where I'm sitting for days on end. That's not the case. It's just a little bit longer wait, a little bit more boredom, and it's just it'll pass, folks. For those who are panicking, I think it's never gonna turn around. It will turn around. My best hunch, if you ask a betting man, would be it's not going to really turn around until after the elections, until the companies know who's going to be in office. That's a big thing, because different administrations do different things with the financial sector, and it's all about borrowing money. Big companies borrow money to make payroll, to expand, to renovate, to innovate. They're always borrowing money, which I don't want to dive too deep into, but why would you borrow money as a shipper right now when you're paying 7%, when you can hold off and the administration comes in, they chop interest rates down by 3-4%. Now you're borrowing the same amount of money for 3% versus 8%, 9%. So, and to be honest with you, banks not really lending money right now. There's, so it's bad all around. But I think with the election coming around, I'm hoping for a change. And it's not about who I'm voting for because of personality. It's whose policies is better. And the answer to that is, what has this guy in office done for the last 4 years that's made this country stronger, that's made this country better? Versus, we had a guy 4 years in office that got railroaded every turn he got, and yet the economy was still... He did things to stimulate the economy, I'll put it that way. I got to go with that other guy, because that other guy has a proven track record, where this guy had just had 4 years and it's a complete disaster. So you've got to make up your mind on who you vote for. But I've also heard that things will get better. Well, Memorial Day came and went. It didn't get better. 4th of July is right here, right now, like in 2 weeks, and things ain't getting no better. Then the next one is Labor Day. Well, we'll see about that. Then Thanksgiving, then Christmas, then New Year's. Then the whole cycle repeats itself. And I stayed out last Christmas through New Year's. Wasn't anything, oh my God, we need you so desperately, there's so much freight. I didn't see it that way. I didn't see it that way for Memorial Day, So, these holidays, and here's another thing too. People are in campers, RVs, they're buying up food. This is what really confuses me. I can't put my finger on why the market is as slow as it is. When you got people, no matter where I go, what state, people are in Love's, TA's, restaurants, fast food joints. It's not like people stop going out to eat. In fact, nothing is, in my eyes, nothing has changed. So the $1 million question is, why are shippers not shipping as much? Or have they lowered their rates so much that, people running it for pennies on a dollar? I don't know. I don't have that answer. So, anyway, keep the faith. It's not going to last forever. Things will change. And, yeah, think about it. If you're young, in your 20s and 30s, man, go to school, learn a skill. Learn a trade. Learn a skill. Learn a trade. All right, take it easy, folks. Peace out.